Hello and welcome to Soul Symbols. My name is Shelly. I'm a writer, an astrologer, and a card reader, and I'd like to welcome you to my channel. Today is another post for the 31 Days of Tarot. What that is it's a blog sprint that's held here by another, here on YouTube by another wonderful tarot card reader and teacher named Ethony. What it is that if you're participating in the sprint, each day you answer one question about tarot and oracle. There's a list of one question per day for every day in January. And what you do is you just film a video, or you could do a traditional blog post if you want. But and today's day is we are day 4, and today's day the question for today is, what are your top 5 most used decks in 2019? So I was really excited to do this because, on the second and third day, I talked about my top 5 tarot decks and my top 5 oracle decks. So I kind of like this because it's a little bit of a cheat day. I can kind of, all of the decks that I use for tarot and oracle, I use a lot. So to avoid any repeats, I wanted to kind of share the other decks that I use very regularly. Now, in this set, if you look at the day 2 for the top 5 tarot decks, those are the tarot decks that I use the most often. So I didn't want to repeat. I wanted to show something different. So today, these are all oracle. A few of them, one deck has a little bit more of a Lenormand feel to it, but all 5 of them are ones that I use very regularly, or I've used a lot in 2019. Now, to go ahead and get started is, this one is a Lenormand style deck, and I sew, so I create all the bags that you see here. I make them. And what it is this deck is called the Fairy Tale Oracle Cards by Liz Dean. And I absolutely love this deck. What it is again, all of the images are very Lenormand based, but they have such a really beautiful kind of font to them. I like Liz Dean's style of artwork, and I feel like it gives really great messages. I really love the letter on this one too. It's just so positive. It's like when you see that letter, you just get excited, like, oh, okay, and a letter can mean messages, or you probably saw yesterday when I did the Intuit Oracle, you saw the cross, and this is just, you see how it's kind of this, cross media kind of artwork. But yeah, oh, sorry, I keep getting the ring. But yeah, it's a really neat deck, and it has it's called the Fairy Tale Oracle Cards, and it has a brief keyword. And I really like the keywords because just like the Intuit Oracle, it really helps you understand the nature of the card. But all of the cards are pretty much Lenormand. Like, you got book, you got coffin, you got horse, or the horse is kind of like the rider in Lenormand. But this is a really wonderful deck. It even has the bird. The bird is such a comfort. Anytime I see this one, and it's like, tweets gossip that's soon passing. I like the fact it's soon passing. But yeah, so this is the one of the first. This is a vintage deck. I think you could still order it. You might be able to find it on eBay. And again, I try to share decks that are still available for purchase. But there are a lot of decks that I use regularly that are just, vintage, that I've had for a long time. And actually, I bought that deck at a bookstore a long time ago. So it wasn't even, like when I got into the craze, when I got back into Oracle. Now, the second deck is the Enchanted Map Oracle Cards by Colette Baron-Reid. And just like the Wisdom, the Oracle, and then there's another deck in this lineup that's also by her. So she does such wonderful images. But what this is more of a journey kind of deck. You can see that the edges kind of have that map looking feel. And but all of the messages, just like the Wisdom of the Oracle, it has really encouraging messages. It just is very spot on. They have, all of them are again, I tend to do this with more of my, I have a Dungeons and Dragons themed reading that I do, and I actually host it every month on the 20th. It's D20. And I definitely, I was just thinking about this card. Yeah, see, it's definitely kind of about a journey. And there are more emotional cards like Sad Embrace, you know, that kind of talks about loss or, you know, letting go. And then, you know, Coming Apart, that's another one. Again, not all of these are sad, you know. There's a few like, oh, here we go. Encouragement. I was actually thinking about this card. Here, let me show you real quick. I pull cards at night just for myself. And look, I had gotten this from my new salmon deck. And I was thinking about how the two giraffes, how it looked like the two giraffes. So I was thinking about this card. That's so cool that came up. But yes, it's just really neat. I sometimes when I'm doing like just a journey kind of theme, I will pull these cards out, or you know, I'll just trade it up if you know, if I'm feeling drawn to them. Oh, this card I get a lot too. It's called Intention. It's just really pretty, and there's a guidebook that goes with it, and it just like all of Colette Baron-Reid's cards. There's just a lot of really specific kind of things, and this whole deck is about a journey. It is about a journey. It's really kind of neat the way that it really, you know, it never fails. If you know, it's funny, anytime I'm feeling lost or I feel like I need help in the direction that I'm headed, I'll pull this deck out, and that's so apt that it you know, it shows. Now the third deck, and this one's kind of cool. I have rainbow strings on my bag here, and you'll see why in a minute. But what it is that this deck is by an independent. This was actually a Kickstarter project, and I purchased it when it was reprinted. The original run, I think, was in 2017, and then the maker of the deck created it again. But it's by an author called, a creator called DejaDrewit, and again, all of the names and descriptions are in the description box below. But what this is a deck of self-care cards. And I absolutely love it. You can see the reason I went with the bag the way that I did is that the back of the deck is black and white, but when you look at the front, it's watercolor. And what's great about it is that, and that's why I used the ribbons that were all watercolor. What it does is it gives you, the theme was that the author is a single mom, and she's you know, an artist, and she was just kind of thinking about the importance of self-care. You know how sometimes in life you just go and go and go, and oh my gosh, today I felt like I was really kind of out of it today. If you listen carefully, it's raining out, and I have my hot tea, and it's just been kind of a long week. You know what I mean? You get back from the holidays and everything is just so Mach 5, you know, it's like you get exhausted, and sometimes you don't really slow down long enough to take care of yourself, and that's really important. And here you go, see, rest, see, the cards are talking to me. And so what I like to do, and I've incorporated these in my readings. You'll see if you watch my channel, if you follow my channel, I have several readings where actually every weekly reading throughout October, at the end of the reading, I pull one of these cards to say, okay, you know, for your week, what is your self-care activity for the week? And it's very loose. Again, it's not anything, no obligation, but it is kind of nice. You know, sometimes when I'm feeling a little worn out, I'll just kind of ask the universe, okay, what can I do? How can I take care of myself? And it never fails. Here you go. Ooh, all right. Dare, meditate, and dance. There you go, see? And it is, and the artwork is really lovely. It's really beautiful. And she's got some wonderful cards in here too. And you know what's funny is that sometimes I pull cards the night before. I kind of say, okay, what are my energies tomorrow? And sometimes I'll pull a self-care. Here you go. Oh, I was just thinking about this. She even has cards like stretch, So like if you do yoga or some kind of, you know, just kind of stationary stretching exercises, oh, I just think that's awesome. And you know what? It never fails. I will pull a card the night before, and I remember one night I pulled a card and it was like movie. And it's funny, I don't even watch that much TV, and I have cable, but I don't really watch that many movies. And I came home one night and I turned on cable on a whim, and there was a good movie, a movie that I hadn't seen before, and I watched it. And that was the same day that, you know, I pulled the movie card. So I think, you know, I think these are really inspirational. I think it's, you know, they have some really positive messages. And even if you don't do like formal tarot or oracle, that's a nice deck to have, you know, if you're a busy mom, or it just kind of puts an intention, and energy follows thought. So if you kind of think, oh, okay, you know, my self-care activity is this, you know, it's almost kind of like a morning affirmation. I think your mind thinks about it, puts energy towards it, and inevitably you end up doing it, and you know, it's very, very good self-care. Now the next deck, and again I have kind of a cream colored bag for this one, it's a really pretty deck, is the Spirit Animal Oracle by Colette Baron-Reid. And again, this is the second deck. I have a lot of decks by Colette Baron-Reid and Denise Lynn and Doreen Virtue. But I love this deck. Admittedly, I have quite a few animal decks. If you watched my video from Thanksgiving, it was kind of funny because I have animal decks, and I thought that between all of the decks that I'd have 3 turkeys, and I didn't have 3 turkeys. I had 2 turkeys and a quail. And so, yeah, I did that reading with 2 turkeys and a quail. It's still posted on this channel if you get a chance to check it out. But I was like, okay, and if you pick the quail, you know, but, you know, or you could even consider that kind of the tofurkey version. Like, you know, if you don't, you know, if you're vegan, I'm very respectful of that. I'm not, I wish I were, but I love the fact that, you know, despite the fact that I have, you know, a couple of animal decks. Oh, look at that. I pulled turkey. Oh gosh. Oh, the universe, I'll tell you, it's like, yeah, this is, you had 2 turkeys. You are a turkey. No, I'm kidding. But the images, first off, this was a very top-rated deck. I waited a while. I was trying to be good. All throughout the year, I'm like, I don't need another deck. I've got 2 animal decks. I don't need them. And but what happened was I kept seeing other readers use the deck, and I kept seeing it at the bookstore. And I broke down. I would watch the flip throughs. You know, if you search for it here on YouTube, there's videos like unboxing videos that people will host that'll flip through all of the, I'm getting a lot of birds. But that would flip through and show all the images, and it has really beautiful images. The art, honestly, the lighting and the camera does not do it justice. It's like this gradient, and it's just such, you know, all the reds are warm, and the keywords are really, really nice too. Like I get a good inspiration, and just like any of my other decks, if I've got a read going, it just kind of and again, the warmth in this card, it just really it totally gives me a good read every single time. It always tells me a message. I get squirrel quite a lot. And what's great is, you know, when I see something like this, it'll say, squirrel, believe in yourself. And then the next day, you know, I remember one time I was waiting in the drive-thru for coffee, and I saw the squirrel was just sitting on a fence staring at me. And I was like, and I had pulled this card the night before, and I was just like, okay, message received, symbol received, right? And so, but it's got some beautiful things. It's got unique animals. I love that. That's one thing that I do really love about my animal decks, is that, you know, it can have the traditional ones, the ones that you all love, but when it has things like grasshopper, it has cow in here, it has parrot, and dove, you know, it has some lovely images. And if you look at the reviews, honestly, the reviews across the board for this deck is just really, really high, and the cardstock is really nice as well. but my friend gave me a rose quartz, so I always keep the rose quartz on top. It just seems to go. It seems to go, that whole theme. All right, so last one of the 5. Now, okay, I know we don't have to do a disclaimer here, but I'm going to throw it out there anyway. I hope, because it's the 31 Days of Tarot and we're all being very open and honest here, and we're sharing a lot of really kind of intimate observations, and you know, Oracle is a personal thing. We all like what we like. I've met plenty of readers. Some readers, angels are their thing. Some readers, you know, they like the cutesy. What's the word? What am I looking for? Almost like Pusheen, but the little anime characters. Some people like cats. Well, long story short, you know, every reader has their thing, right? And this deck is a Doreen Virtue deck, and it's not made anymore because and again, I did a little turtle bag with it. But what it's called is the Mermaids and Dolphins Oracle, and I keep a piece of Amazonite, if I'm saying that right, with it. But what it is this is an older deck, and it is admittedly. So again, this is a no judgment zone, right? Please don't judge me. I'm sharing. Don't, you know, please be kind with the comments. But what it was is that, you know, some of the images in this deck is a little bit cutesy, admittedly, because it's Mermaids and Dolphins, but I absolutely loved the affirmations, and I pull out this deck for myself because the messages are positive, and it always just makes me feel like, again, you know, like, you know, make a decision, or healing heart. You are a powerful healer. Keep up the good work. Feeling stuck and indecisive. Listen to your intuition and make a decision. I feel like the messages just always speak to me, and just like sorry, I'm still not. I promise I'm going to get articulate sometime this month, guys. I'm sorry. Just like the map. You know, the magical map cards. Anytime I'm just kind of feeling a little bit lost, like I just kind of need that pick me up. I just need that positive message that kind of, so these messages are positive, and they give really positive direction too. They say, you know, they're a little bit, you know, and they do. The other thing that I liked about this is it's got unique things like alchemy. There's one that's synchronicity, which I like because, of course, you know, I study symbols. They do have cards like father healing or mother healing, which I think is interesting. That's a little bit more psychological, you know, and, you know, new dawn. But you know, one thing, you know, sometimes it has cards like friendship, like, you know, make a date to play with friends. So sometimes it will give you that reminder, hey, you know, maybe you've been inside too much. Empowerment. I really love this. You are more powerful than you realized. It is safe for you to be powerful. I love that message. I love that message because, you know, sometimes when you have those days where you come home and you feel like, oh gosh, you know, maybe sometimes you get a little doubtful. You think, oh gosh, you know, I'm not allowed, you know, to, you know, this card I get all the time. It just flipped, but music for manifesting. To manifest rapidly, think of your desire while you chant, hum, sing, or play music. And I hear, you know, it's funny, I hear lyrics of songs. I hear lyrics of songs that kind of direct me sometimes, but yeah, I'm sorry, I'm rambling, but I like the messages in this, and it just gives really kind of direct encouragement. It always makes me feel better. And the one other thing that I like about this deck is that I only have a few decks that actually have the phrase yes, like, you know, kind of like a direction, you know, This was another card that I really love. It just says, you know, it says, stay optimistic. Your dreams are coming true. Don't quit right before the miracle occurs. And I love that because, again, it's like when you're feeling weary, and you just need some encouragement. It just says, keep on going, keep on going. And, you know, it has, you know, symbols like worthiness. Know that you deserve good. You deserve good. Consult an expert. Self-forgiveness. So there's definitely, but there's one in here that actually, oh, here we go. It's, of course, it's going to be the last card. But it actually says, yes, your intuition is correct. Take action accordingly. So I really love that because it's like, you know, yes, okay, what, and there has been times when I'm like shuffling and I'm thinking, well, you know, that can't be right. And then the yes card comes out and I'm like, yes, okay, what I was thinking is, you know, touch the nose, right on the nose, right? So, and here you go, rest. Yes, thank you. As soon as I get done with this video, I will do that. I will curl up in my little clamshell, tuck my tail in. No, I'm kidding. And, oh, in last video yesterday, we got the card came up that said cuddle, and I think Monday's Natural Cuddle Day. So we'll do something. I don't know. We'll figure out something. But yep, guys, so that was my top 5 most used decks of 2019. Now, if you look at the top 5 tarot and you look at the top 5 oracle, I use them too. So it's almost like my top 15 decks. I'm not trying to cheat there, but I was really glad that we got this extra day because these are decks that I use a lot and they're very positive. And if you're interested in any of the makers or, you know, more information, it's all listed in the description box below. So please check that out. And I thank you so much for stopping by. We're definitely going to try to keep these videos brief as we go. There's going to be a couple really short days, so you can just watch and go. And then I hope you join me tomorrow. We have another day and another question. Let me go check what that. Okay, sorry guys. Tomorrow we're going to ask the question, what has tarot taught you in the last decade? So from 2010 to 2019, what has tarot taught you? So here we go. We're getting into the fun stuff. So please, I hope you join me tomorrow, and I hope you have a good weekend, and I'll see you then. Bye.